If you read the title, you already know what this is. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amelia, and today is an exciting day in the fantasy world. Well, technically it was yesterday, but by the time I got home from work yesterday, it was dark, and I didn't want to film in the dark and have it look shitty, so it is a day after the day. And that day is, of course, Wind and Truth release date. I have not opened mine yet. I was saving it for opening on camera, so you're welcome. I restrained myself overnight, but the time has now come for me to open this and take a look at it together. Actually, sorry, before I do that, today's video we are going to be doing like a reading vlog, reading this book, and then I think I'm gonna do a separate video reviewing it. I used to do them together, but I actually think that people who watch reading vlogs and the people who watch like in-depth reviews are like not always the same people, so I'm gonna separate them. If you like that, let me know. If you don't, also let me know. But that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm just gonna cut open the tape. I don't really know why they needed to tape it because this flap is like hella glued down. They're always so hard to open, but you know, tape. And this box does kind of look like it's struggling a little bit to hold this book, kind of bulging out. But I'm gonna open it now. I'm not gonna talk while I do that because I'm probably gonna need to mute how loud it is. These easy tears never fucking work. They never work. Especially when you tape over them. Alright, are you guys ready? The moment we've all been waiting for. It's upside down and not facing you. Okay, well, you know, I tried. Wow. Alright, we now have in our hands Wind and Truth, Book 5 of the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. And it is quite thick. It is, I believe it's like, ooh, that's so pretty. Okay, I don't want to like spoil too much for myself, but I like to try to look at the page count. Online I thought it said 1344, but actually it doesn't look like it's quite that long. It looks more like 1329, which is still absolute insanity. But let's have a look at this hardback, shall we? We have, of course, the art on the dust jacket. We've got presumably Khaled in here doing something. I don't really know what exactly he's doing. I'm assuming we'll find out eventually. Maybe this is some sort of fabrial because we've got like the different gemstones and stuff here. I'm assuming it's just kind of blank under this, but I'm gonna take it off anyway. Okay, actually we have, it's kind of really probably gonna be hard for you guys to see, but it's just like a, I don't know if this is embossing or debossing where it's like pressed in. It's I think it's maybe one of the symbols for the Knights Radiant. It's like a fancy sword with like BLF-y kind of glyphs going on. So that's actually quite nice, you know. A lot of the times these normal paperbacks are just, not paperbacks, hardbacks are just plain underneath. And then the spine design is also nice. We have some stylized font. And then the back is just plain gray. And yeah, it's a thickie. I will say now in this reading vlog, there will be spoilers for the first 4 books. I don't really know how I can read the final book in the series without spoiling the first 4, so if you were intending to read those and you don't want them spoiled, I recommend you do that before you watch this video. But I thought it would be kind of funny to measure the width of this book. So I'm gonna just measure the text block and not the hardbacks pages. So, all right, hold on, let me hold it steady. Okay, we are at, let me use centimeters. Why am I using inches? I'm not an American. Okay, we're at like 5.6 centimeters, which like doesn't sound that big, but if I were to just pull like a normal size book, this book is 3.4 centimeters. So, quite a difference. Although, let us take a look at the other Stormlight books. Of course, they're buried. I'm just curious if this is the longest one. I think it probably is. It's definitely longer than Way of Kings. Way of Kings, I think, is only like 900 pages only. Way of Kings is, okay, it's 1001 pages. Words of Radiance is 1096 pages. Oathbringer, we have 1233 pages, so we're getting up there. And then Rhythm of War, this one has the most chance of, I think, being the same length or longer. Rhythm of War is 1219. Okay, so actually, in order of thickness, it goes Wind and Truth, Oathbringer, Rhythm of War, Words of Radiance, and then Way of Kings. So, not too bad, but this one is definitely the longest by a couple hundred pages. Now, I am technically reading a book right now. I'm looking around because I thought I brought it over here, but it looks like no. So I shouldn't really start this until I finish that book, but I'm also thinking this is a huge book. I'm not sure I want to bring it on the bus with me to work all the time, so I might start it anyway and then use that other book, which is just like a 200-page novella, as like my workbook, and this can be my home book, at least until I get so invested in this that I can't leave it at home. So I guess I will quickly wrap up this intro portion, and I will reconnect with you when I'm about to actually start reading. All right, I'm just sitting down to dinner, and I am about to start. Oh, my Wind and Truth is slightly damaged. I'm about to start Wind and Truth, so I'm very excited. I don't know that I'm going to get that far tonight, but I'm at least going to crack it open, you know? So I just got home from work. Sorry, the lighting's terrible, but there's not much I can do about that. But I'm about to have dinner and continue reading Wind and Truth. Last night I finished day 1, so I guess this is going to be split into like the 10 days that are remaining until the battle with Odium, which is something I'd kind of forgot about. So it's even crazier that this is just 10 days. I mean, there's probably like a little bit of it after, but I can't imagine it's that much. So yeah, that is how much like 100 odd pages looks like in this book, by the way. And it was mostly just set up so far, reconvening with all our characters in their various locations and sending them on, either like recalling them or like sending them on their final quests. So Kaladin, and these are not really spoilers, I wouldn't say, because they're all kind of decided at the end of the last book. Kaladin's going off with Seth to deal with one of the heralds. Shallan and Adolin are kind of like coming back from dealing with the honor spread, and so far those are kind of really the two main characters that we've actually followed. We haven't followed anybody else yet, but yeah, so far so good. I'm gonna eat some soup in a second here and continue reading, and hopefully the soup will warm me up because oh my god, it's so freaking cold outside. It's so windy, it's so miserable. Okay, so just a quick update because I finished day 2 yesterday. I'm about to start day 3, and so I thought I'd do a quick update. Nothing too crazy because that was only like 200 pages-ish, but day 2 was interesting. We definitely progressed, I would say, a decent bit in some areas, less in others, but we did have an idea like brought up and then like action taken on it within that chapter, which is actually like pretty impressive because usually things take longer, but obviously, you know, we're on a time schedule, so we got to get shit done. So that has been good. There were a lot of POVs, and I will say it was pretty impressive how we managed to make them all feel like one cohesive story, even though we're jumping around between characters a lot. But yeah, I'm about to start the interludes. We have L and Odium, so that should be interesting. And then I'll be on to day 3. This is just going to be a really quick update. I just want to say that I made it to the end of day 3 and I'm about to start day 4. Planning to do probably quite a bit of reading this evening, so I don't know how many pages it is till the end of day 4, but I will hopefully finish that and maybe we'll get some more. I don't know. It's quite satisfying to finish off at like the end of the day, at like the end of one of my days too, so that's nice. And yeah, I've been really starting to enjoy Seth and Kaladin's quest. We didn't get much of Shaolin in this day, which is kind of sad, but we got some good stuff. Not really sure what exactly it is that she was supposed to have been doing, but I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out in day 4. I'm just about to read the interludes, which I'll be honest, they're interesting, but at the same time, sometimes I'm just like, I probably have to read these interludes before we can get back into the actual story. So I don't know, there's that, but so far so good. Hello, so back with another Wind and Truth update. I'm on page 602, which is a little bit less than halfway through, and I still am enjoying it a lot. I feel like these are kind of not that interesting of updates because I'm just like having a good time. And sorry, I took the sleeve off because it like slides out of it all the time. Yeah, I'm just having a generally good time. I think the way things are happening makes sense. The only thing that I'm kind of like iffy about is I have another friend who's also reading it, but he has read like Mistborn and all that kind of stuff, and he said that there are a few things in here that like you like wouldn't, that like examples of like maybe like using like a bit of like the magic or whatever else that you wouldn't notice if you hadn't also read Mistborn. So like I think I might be missing a few things there, which is a little bit frustrating. It seems like a lot of, I guess, books but also like other media in general these days, it seems like it feels like it needs to be part of like a greater universe and be like this whole big thing. But that just means that it makes it harder for you to just like jump in and read like a set series within that without it being like that you're missing stuff because you didn't read 16 other books, which is not my favorite thing. So yeah, I won't lie, I'm not loving that part. But I still feel like it's not like I don't understand what's going on, so I appreciate the way that he did it because like, yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing stuff, although apparently I am, so, you know, I'll read it after I read Mistborn, I guess. But yeah, the plan today is I think I'm gonna go to a cafe and do some reading, have a nice coffee. It's my birthday this week, but I don't have any family here, so no one's here to make me a cake, so I might also get a little sweet treat. And I also have a goal to finish this book by next Sunday, because on the Monday, no, actually I think I'm leaving on the Tuesday, so I could finish it on Monday, but I still have to go to work, so. But anyway, next Sunday I'm going home for Christmas, and I don't want to bring a giant book that I'm like most of the way through, so I'd rather finish it and then bring something else, or not bring something, because let's be real, my family's I'm probably going to acquire some sort of book over the holidays because my family knows me. But yes, that means we have another week to finish it. I've got slightly less than halfway through this week, although it's still Sunday, so you know, we can count whatever I read today as being the first week. I can't remember if I started it on Monday or if it was earlier. I'm hoping it was Monday because that would mean that I got through more of it and this is more doable, the goal. But I should stop wasting time talking and start reading if I want to actually finish this bad boy off this week. So I'll see you at the cafe. welcome. I feel like I've been doing a bad job of keeping up with this vlog, and that's primarily because I've been reading mostly like after work. So you can see I'm in my pajamas. It's dark outside. It's like, I don't know, 8 or something. Anyway, I just finished day 8. I was reading with my dinner, and so I'm getting very close to the end now. We are on page 965 out of 1340-ish, so that's like pretty close. I don't think I'm probably not going to finish it tonight because I only have a couple hours before I should go to sleep, and there's still this much. But I think tomorrow I'm going to get home earlier from work, and so I have a pretty good chance to finish this. And it's my birthday. I'm like, what else am I going to do other than just indulge in reading for as long as I want? But in terms of the book, how it's going, it's good. Things have gotten very hairy in certain situations. I'm obviously not going to give any spoilers or anything, but you know, it's pretty typical when you're like this close to the end of like a story like that, you start to think like, oh, how could the good guys ever possibly overcome this to win? And we shall see. I don't know how much is going to be resolved at the end of this because this is arc 1, but I'm hoping that like, I'm going to assume the next arc we're probably going to be with almost all new characters. So hopefully every character that we've been following in these first 5 books gets a satisfying conclusion. I feel like somebody's probably going to die in this. Like, it's just like, you can't have something on a scope like this and not have somebody die. I'm not sure yet who I think it's going to be. I have some ideas, but I'm not sure if saying them would be spoilers. So I'm gonna keep them to myself for now. And in my review video, which honestly I think at this point it's just gonna be full spoilers, I'll say who I thought was gonna die. But yeah, 2 days remain until the Battle of Champions. We shall see if that's how that ends up going. But yeah, so far there's been a lot of mentally ill people. I think the Radiants are just a therapy group, or they need to be one because they're all like unstable. It's not funny, by the way, but it's just like, yeah. I do just want to quickly read this quote for you because you will probably see what it made me think of, but I'll tell you if it doesn't. I don't think this one line will be spoilers, by the way, but it says, "Show me, I cannot take your pain, but I can help you carry it." And as a big Lord of the Rings person, that just to me is the scene at the end that when Sam is like, "I can't carry it, but I can carry you," and then he starts carrying Frodo up the mountain. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. But we are now moving on to day 9. Well, interludes first, because gotta have the interludes. It is Wednesday now, and I've just made it to day 10, and I was hoping to finish tonight, but it is already 10:30, and I get up relatively early for work, so I think I'm gonna go to bed now, but I have like 200 pages left-ish, slightly less than that, at page 1147. 1147. So yeah, I didn't actually make it that far today, but tomorrow we'll continue on and see where we get to. I don't want to rush it, but also like I'm kind of at the point where it's like you are kind of not rushing, but like you're like near the climax, so you're very sucked in and maybe reading faster than you would otherwise because you're like, all right, I gotta know things are moving, I gotta find out what the end is. And honestly, I'm not sure what the conclusion is going to be. I don't even know if I have guesses. honestly. But I'm gonna go to bed for the night, since now that I'm talking, I'm realizing how tired I am, and continue tomorrow, whether or not I finish it then. Okay, it's now 11 o'clock, and I just finished Wind in Truth. Immediate thoughts? I don't know, the ending was like, it was good in that it set stuff up for like the next arc, but also I a little bit kind of felt, and this is maybe like a weird comment, but it's kind of hard to say stuff without saying spoilers, but I kind of wish it had more teeth almost. Like, it's so hard to say anything without giving spoilers. I don't think there's any way to describe what I'm thinking without dropping at least some hints that you might not want. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, I guess. I will say that I was thinking maybe this series would give me kind of a similar feeling as like finishing Wheel of Time, but I don't think I feel that way, at least not yet. Maybe I will when we finish like the actual whole thing, but that's gonna be like God knows how long it's gonna be until that happens. Like, it is unlikely for one of those books to come out every year, right? So let's say one comes out every 2 years. It would be 10 years until the end. Who knows if I'll even still be interested in 10 years. But yeah, I will do a quick wrap up tomorrow morning, but for tonight, yeah, I have finished Wind in Truth, and yeah.
Alright, welcome back, friends. It has been, in truth, like, I think 2 weeks since I finished reading Wind in Truth. Unfortunately, it kind of just happened like before the holidays, so I went home and then I wasn't filming and blah blah blah. But anyway, I have edited the video, and I've decided that it's quite long enough for a reading review or a reading vlog of a single book. So I'm not going to do any sort of really review here, other than to say, well, I did sort of review it as I went along, but overall, very enjoyable. Not my favorite Stormlight book, not my least favorite. A comfortable middle book, I suppose. But I do want to do a full review video, but it's probably going to be a couple of weeks at least until that happens. But yeah, that is all for this video. Subscribe so you don't miss the review video when it comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.